My
What's
throat always hurts anytime I eat goat.
what did you
Yeah.
just say?
But I never admit it though, because I don't really like it that much, but yesterday was really good, but still my throat's hurting, so yeah.
Okay, your throat is hurting.
Yep.
Well, hopefully everything is okay.
Well, it's not hurting
Obviously,
that much, but you know how it goes.
it's probably just allergy season or the weather changing because obviously it's getting so hot.
Nope, it's the goat. But
It's the goat. You had goat.
how are you, Osama?
Mohammed, I'm good, man. Honestly, I'm just tired, bro. Honestly, I just want to say to everybody, I woke up at 9 o'clock. Actually, earlier, 8 o'clock, and I slept at one. So, but we're doing well. The
Yeah.
grind is real,
Yep. Yep. You're
and
right.
there's no compromising our passion for anything else. So let's do it.
That is a good point. Compromising for what you really want. Uh,
Exactly.
can you touch upon that?
Well, I guess today's topic is a gateway into that. I just believe that if you actually we posted something yesterday. I'm not sure if you saw the post, or you should have saw the post, but we posted something yesterday for people who haven't seen it. It's the quote that I posted is there's no plan B for your passion.
Yep.
So in life, there's always plan B for like if it's someone you like or if it's like a job application you're trying to get, like you'll always have another thing you want. But if it's your passion, you'll make sure not to go on plan B. You'll make sure that whatever you're gonna do is gonna get you that standpoint. So I guess we could leave it at that.
I agree. I agree. For everyone that doesn't know, my name is Mohammed. Here with my co-host Osama. We are the channel Ways. What are you saying? You can follow us at Ways 2.0 on Instagram at Ways 2.0. Osama's personal page is Kusa 300 at Kusa 300. Myself, you can follow me at Mohammed.global. Once again, at Mohammed.global. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Every video will be uploaded, or audio, I should say, will be uploaded Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It'll be available on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, Breaker, and various platforms. We like to thank everyone for watching our videos, all the comments we're getting, the feedback we're getting. We love it, and therefore we're trying to get better,
Yeah.
implement new skills, ideas, so therefore we can just give you guys a better overall experience.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
for today's episode, episode 11, today, the title of this episode is What Makes You Who You Are. All right. Every single person is a unique puzzle composed of pieces of personalities, life experiences, knowledge, and emotion. Every person has their own perspective and worldview, largely fueled by the way they've experienced and navigated the world. Regardless of the exact path of one's own life has taken, the journey leaves its mark on the person and shapes the way they interact with the world today. However, we're not condemned to a particular outcome. The quality that makes every person a unique, interesting individual can be honed, improved upon, and made to grow as we continue our life's journey. Here are some of the things that make you unique in this world. So, we're going to go over some tips from the website aconscious rethink.com, and they compiled a list of the top 10 things that makes a person unique. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is your personality. Reason why? An
Damn.
individual, yep, an individual's personality is something that is molded from the moment they are born right through the present moment. Every good and bad
Hmm.
experience, every triumph and every failure, every moment of strength and weakness, every bit of knowledge and wisdom we acquire, these guide us in how we move through the world. No one else can or will have your exact collection of knowledge, experiences, and perceptions that causes you to be who you are. No one else is going to respond to what you've experienced with the same emotion and thoughts that you had. No one is going to make the same choices that you make. Your personality is uniquely you own. What do you think,
Yes.
Osama?
I honestly do agree. I feel a lot of people sometimes will change up their personality to be accepted, which is it's interesting to see because like for example, your personality, as you said, it makes you who you are. And that's really powerful just thinking about that whole small statement in the end that you just said.
Mhm.
So for someone like me and you or like or any of our friends, having a unique personality just based on you and how you can portray it. Like for example, you might have a unique personality, but because you haven't figured out who you are, people might find you boring. People might find you bland. People might find you whatever it may be. So your personality, get to know yourself. Like go try everything, because then like you'll find out. then you'll find out, oh, I don't like this. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this. And then be comfortable with who you are. A lot of the times we're, oh man, why do I have this? Why do I have that? Why complain? And how about you use that towards something good?
I agree. I agree. Yeah. Everyone's personality is their own, and everyone's personality is special. Obviously, the way you grew up, either grew up in a good environment, so therefore you actually got to hone your personality and therefore cultivate it to use it to your own status, to get a good job, outlook in life, and just live comfortable, right? Some people are given tough circumstances. They go through so much in life where they don't even know who they are until an exact moment might happen. It might be through a car crash. It might be through
Mm-hmm.
a negative incident, or um, it could be through really tough incidents that can make
Yeah,
someone just wake up, right? And even
yeah.
certain moments like that will make you want to realize and do that deep dive. Hear my throat, goat. But it'll make you realize, do a deep dive to make sure who you really are, right? So one thing, like you said, your personality is your personality. No matter how people tell you that, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, make sure to find out who you are, because once you know your personality type, all you got to do is really cultivate it to use it to your own for your own I guess you could say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 goat. So let me say
My
this
God.
again. That's why, because the thing is, your personality is big. It's not small. It's not small at all. Your personality type, it's huge as far as the field, the different types of factors, the triggers that makes you act this way and that way. So therefore, you have literally a lifetime to find out what you really want to be as far as
Yeah.
within your personality type.
And I just want to add one thing to what you just said.
Yep.
We're all different people. 8 billion different people, so it's 8 billion different personalities. Not everyone's gonna have 100% a similar personality. Someone might have 10% like similar to your personality, but you have your own personality, so you can never be judged because everyone thinks differently.
Yeah.
They want their own thing. They want things for themselves. They want things for others. So at the end of the day, your brain tomorrow or today is probably thinking something else than your next 10 friends,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
you should never feel embarrassed or like there should be no stigma on your own personality. Like you should embrace your personality and go kill it with whatever you want to do.
It's true. So the second thing is your attitude, all right? A person's attitude dictates how they perceive life and the actions of the people around them. Both a positive and negative attitude can be infectious, influencing the people around you and pulling them in the general direction of what you are putting into the world.
Yeah,
That's the foundation of self-help and motivational materials that talk about how your attitude limit the way you think and accomplish in life. Because the truth is that people with a positive attitude tend to shy away from those with more neural or negative attitudes. Your attitude is something that is formed by emotional landscape unless you make an active choice to craft it into something better and more conductive to a happier present and future.
yeah. You know, it's kind of funny. There's a quote I wanted to say, which actually I was gonna say in the first point, but I'll say it now since we just spoke about personality.
Yeah.
And I would always say, don't confuse my personality with my attitude. My personality is who I am. My attitude is
Mm.
how it's contingent on how you treat me.
Yeah.
Going back to this attitude thing, I feel your attitude will determine your personality in a sense. As if you're way too passive and nice, sometimes people will take advantage of you. They're like, oh wow, this guy's nice. This guy's gonna do whatever. Like I say, if you're assertive and you're the type of person like when you say you're gonna do something, you'll do it, but you're also positive with your outtake in life. I don't see nothing ever going wrong aside from hitting obstacles, obviously. But I feel your attitude should always be positive, never negative. Because a lot of the times people are like, oh, I want like they're hard workers, they're talented, they're people like that that when you look at them, you see greatness, but then their attitude is disgusting, and that's the
Yeah.
reason why they don't become successful.
Yeah. And to expand upon that, you're right. People don't forget. So it sucks because obviously we're humans. We go through so much on a daily basis, but you got to treat everyone the same, right?
Yeah,
Obviously, your personality is your personality. That's number one. But your attitude will make or break how quick you will become successful. It's true. It
100%.
will make or break how quick you'll become successful. It will make or break how quick you get into a relationship. It will make or break how good you repair your friendship or relationship with a family member. Like your attitude is your shield. It's legit your shield. It could be your shield, or it could be, I guess, like a beautiful water fountain for people to come ingest and get a better perspective of who you are and stuff, right? They
Uh-huh.
use it if you use it as a shield to push everyone away. Therefore, people are going to see as a person that's an outcast. People are going to see as a person that they don't want to get along with or be friends with or come near or go to for advice. You know
Yeah.
how painful it is when you realize people don't come to you for help and anything.
Oh yeah.
If you, whoever's listening, if no one has come to you in life for anything, whether it's good, bad, whatever, what type of level, to help a person move, guidance, all these different things. If no one's come to you in your whole life, you might want to sit down and ponder why. And I'm pretty sure it has something to do with your attitude. You might have nice personality, but when it comes to your attitude and how you treat people in certain moments, you might have done something, said something, whether it's with the intention or unaccidental, but you
Yeah.
didn't fix it. That people are like, you know what? I cannot be around this person when I need them. And that's
Hmm.
the worst thing on earth because we all need each other. We all rely on each other and we must work together, right? So your attitude will make or break you.
Especially if it's people who are close to you and like you consider these guys close friends and they're not
Ma,
coming. This guy, bro. Yeah, but I was just especially if like they're close to you and like you consider them like brother, like you consider like your close friend or brothers, and they're not coming to you. It
yeah.
has a lot to do with your attitude towards things. Maybe they've had experience a bad experience with you, in terms of
Hmm.
like they asked you a subliminal question about how they felt about something, and you gave an answer which could have been, it's still your opinion, but you probably said it in a way which could have been disrespectful, and then like, wow, this guy is like, how am I friends with him? And as you said, Mohammed, you bring up a good point. At the end of the day, we do rely on each other. We do have close friendships that we have to keep close.
Yeah,
And with that, we do grow. With that, we do learn. So for
of
someone,
course.
for like even like especially for I know that certain people that I know, if I can get one call, you being one of them, if I ever need advice, I can call like, hey, I have a question for you. And that's also because your attitude is amazing, and two, for the people that are listening, notice you only call your friends with a good attitude and someone you can actually uh have a good conversation with. You're never gonna call somebody who even though they may be your friend, but if you had multiple bad experiences with them, you're not gonna call them.
Yeah,
You're not.
it's true. It's true. Because there's certain triggers that they do or you were part of in an experience or a moment that you're like, okay, that's it. I just know this person's in this side. So therefore, if
Yeah,
something happens, I will not go to this person.
it outweighs the good.
Exactly. And the next point is your experience. A person's past and future experience have, without a doubt, the greatest influence on shaping who they are as a unique individual. Every experience helps us determine how we'll end up interacting with the world and other people in it. People
Yeah,
with negative experience might find themselves feeling anxious and defensive when faced with situations similar to those in which they got hurt or when they are trying to avoid future harm. And people seek out positive experiences to help improve their understanding of the world, the people in it, and how to best pursue a happy and content life. That doesn't mean that you are condemned to be held hostage by your experiences. Certain negative experiences often contain shreds of wisdom that you use to find a better path, make better decisions, and pursue a more positive future.
yeah, absolutely. I do believe being in an environment does test who you are, does shape your
Yep.
personality, and obviously does, in a sense, obviously shape your attitude, because you're going to be going through things and your attitude will get tested in how you respond to that reaction.
Yeah.
And I want to say an indirect thing is responsibility. Makes you responsible. If you
Hmm.
break down the word responsibility, the response and the ability. What's your response to that ability? And you have the ability to
Bars.
go through the stuff you are going through, whether it's negative or positive. And
Yeah.
that goes back to attitude and your personality, like it or not. If your attitude
Hmm.
is negative, your response is going to be negative, and your ability to do that thing is not even happen. And
Yeah.
what does that do to your personality? It messes it up. You're like, oh, I can't do this. What's the point of even doing it?
Hmm.
And we've obviously both went like a lot. A lot. Everybody actually going or listening has definitely went through a lot of stuff, whether it's positive or negative, that's shaped them to who they are today, currently in this Corona. And actually, just use an example. If Corona doesn't, because people keep saying that 2020 is a curse, 2020 is a curse, to use an excuse not to do stuff. And there's obviously people like us who are obviously working and still doing what they want to do to like use this time to be ahead of people who are not working. If you're not if Corona does not shape you to a better person, I have no idea what's the point of you even like doing anything then.
It's true. It's true. Your experience are pretty much your it's your memory, right?
Of
It's your
course.
data of all the memories that you've had in the past, present, and also in the collective future. Your experience determines where you end up in life, obviously, and your experience is something that you have to hold on to, whether you like it or not. That's a funny thing, Osama. Now, when we're talking about this, I realize that experience is something you have to hold on to. Like it's stuck, it's a part of you,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not. You know how many times that maybe something happened to you, maybe someone roasted you,
Yeah.
someone cut you off on the road, or someone pissed you off, someone
Yeah.
insulted you, your brother, your sister, like whatever, like someone like just maybe you got food and someone messed it up. Like all these experiences, as much as it sucked, we think that we get rid of it. We think that it's gone. We don't think about it anymore. But the funny thing is, it's still a part of you. It never
Oh,
went anywhere.
100%.
Now the question is, when those experiences happen to you, the funny thing is, do you get rid of it? But with the feeling, so do you get rid of that experience knowing that okay, I understand the totality of that experience and how
Yeah.
maybe I have reacted bad in the situation, therefore I learned from it? Or like most humans, do we go through a negative experience, throw it away, but not realizing the value and understanding from it? So therefore that negative emotions actually growing underlying in our system. So therefore when
Yeah.
something else happens, that negative feeling only grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And maybe that changes our attitude, so we become more rude, more negative, which eventually might actually overcast our personality, making us a more nastier person, and that makes people avoid us even more. So
Yeah.
your experience over time, if you do not understand how to deal with situations and do not grasp the overall value and how it could actually make you a better person, whether good or bad, will have an effect on your attitude and ultimately on your personality. So
And
therefore, once again, if you want to be successful quicker, if you want to have a relationship quicker, if you want to have a family quicker, all these different things, whatever you want in life, it's more easier when you understand your personality, your attitude, and definitely the overall perception and guidance that you
yeah.
have had over the past number of years from your experience.
And I can also say part of environment is the people that you hang out with. Can
Of course.
also That's where it can also stem from in terms of why you've had those experiences or you're going through what you're going through. Because
Yeah.
you were saying earlier a point, if your friends don't call you for like this advice, then you have to go like check yourself and go replenish yourself essentially because something wrong with what you're doing currently.
I'm your own friend, your own mom.
Or even your own family. Like when even your own family, like if someone's not coming to you always get into arguments, it's clearly like either you're personally going through something, and I understand why when you said about do we deviate from the fact that we're going through something or do we deal with it and learn it through, right? I understand both sides. But the side
Yeah,
I personally mess with, like, and I understand both. But now at an age, yes, we go through so much stuff, but it is better to learn from it because you'll remember going back to that time. I don't want to be there,
yeah,
so I'm gonna learn from this. But if you deviate from it, it's almost like, for example, if I ask you, hey, how are you, and you make a joke out of it, you're just deviating from a situation to act funny,
of
but you
course,
haven't dealt with it directly.
of course.
So I just feel when it comes to an environment, this is a big indicator to test someone's ability. And I know Mohammed, you yourself have went through so much in terms of like past businesses, which has
I know
shaped,
you yourself as well.
yeah, which definitely has shaped both of us in terms of the entrepreneurs we want to be, and it's still gonna shape. Like
Of course,
you still learn.
of course. It's as if right now we're in day one, but if you take all our experience, it's probably day 1,000.
Oh yeah, one hundred
But
percent.
in this day time, current space on the timeline, it's day one because we want to get better. So therefore, we want to know what we have to do in order to get to that point, right? So therefore, those experiences that we had in the past, even the last with ways, like we talked about in the previous episodes, whether good or bad. I think one of the episodes we actually led you
Yeah,
guys on uh
episode seven.
we brought you guys on the pathway what led us to this moment right now and stuff, obviously, right? So if you go back and listen to that episode and you listen to everything that we went through, the trials and tribulations, those experience when they're negative, did we learn from it and did we use it to help us today,
A
or
hundred percent.
did we use those experiences to keep us down and therefore make us more lazy, hate the ways even more, and
Yeah,
not be as passionate as before. No, obviously we use those experiences to make us better because that's what we want to be.
you
You
know,
can't, you have, it's beyond practicing what you preach. You have to live it. You
you,
have to live
you
it.
know what's funny that you mentioned about ways is I remember when I think the first post must have been May 21st. Just looking back a couple of days ago, and I was looking back when what the first post was. And I remember when I was like, so a thought hit me. I'm like, bro, what? There's a couple thoughts. I'm like, bro, why am I waiting until Corona ends? What if Corona never ends? Like we're living like this for the rest of our lives.
Yeah,
So I'm like, I'm gonna wait until Corona ends. I'm like, this is not me. Like I've never thought this way ever.
yeah,
That's why I started posting. That's why we're doing this today. So for a lot of people that are like, oh well, I had a bad relationship and I don't want to get into it, or I had this, you're just giving yourself excuses not to do something.
mm-hmm,
I understand that we all go through tough times
mm-hmm.
individually, personally, and that's what shapes us as who we are today, tomorrow, and that's what our past does to us. But if you want to be good in the future, then you have to work on yourself today.
It's
So,
true.
so your environment today, you got to ask it. And I remember me and Mohammed, and a couple of us were having this conversation. We're like, um, the older you get, you start realizing your friends, like your friend group, starts decreasing, and then people you're around in terms of your environment starts decreasing. So you start realizing your circle is smaller.
Yep.
You have to start assessing yourself in your environment. Like, why do I always go to like clubs? Why do I always go here? Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
25, 26. Like I don't want to keep doing this. I want to keep working on myself. You have to
You
ask
gotta
yourself
spend
these
more time with
questions.
goats.
Goats. You know who's a goat? Me, the
You
greatest
gotta
of
spend
all
more time with
time.
goats. You got to spend more time with goats.
Hey man,
That's the biggest difference.
the biggest difference is Muhammad is someone like you know the thing is if you ask someone who's always it's if you ask someone who's always been I want to say like people had no faith in him.
Yeah.
That like actually Michael Jordan's a prime example. Michael Jordan, like he was talking about his childhood,
Yep.
how his brother was always better than him in basketball, and how his dad would,
Larry.
yeah, Larry, how his dad would always like, oh Michael, if you want to play, you want to be like this, get out of here, right? That built
Yeah.
fuel into him.
And he took it personally. That was the
Took it,
beginning.
yeah, took it personally. But mind you, when you think of the NBA, the first player you think of is Michael Jordan.
Of course.
He's not even playing right now. Like for someone to keep thinking of a player who hasn't played in like almost 20 years,
Yep.
bro, it's pretty insane. So to have a GOAT mindset is obviously you put yourself in that environment of a GOAT mindset.
It's true. It's true. I definitely agree. So the next thing is your habits. A habit is a thing that we do with great regularity. The
Big thing.
habits we have informed and determine what aspects of our own unique person we develop. A bad habit of eating unhealthy food and not exercising is going to cause lethargy and poor physical health.
Muhammad,
A
you hear
good
that?
habit of brushing your teeth twice a day and flossing is going to keep your mouth healthy and pain free. Forming habits such as reading, meditation, exercise, or trying new things can improve mental health and well being. Carl Jung famously said, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." And his words largely speak to how our actions and habits determine the person we become.
Yep.
Any words?
Yeah, I do want to say habits is a big
Any?
one. But what just happened, bro? It sounded like you were like you sounded like Mickey Mouse. That's a bad habit. No, just joking. Just joking. You know what's funny, Muhammad? Is I remember one time we are having a conversation amongst the old, just like amongst like us, like creators, like amongst our friends, like we're talking about creators and talking about
Yep.
habits. I remember having this conversation talking about habits,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
and habits is the thing is, the way we're going down in a way, it's like the further you go down the list, the more important it gets. And when you go
Yep,
up,
yep,
it actually defines who you are as a person.
yep.
So the habits
The
in front,
roots.
you know what I'm saying? The roots, the more you go down, the more important it gets. The more you go up, it defines you as a person. In a sense,
Yep.
that's how I'm looking at it,
Yeah, like the iceberg.
right? And I remember, actually, I just want to say, I remember, like, guys, before Waze even started, like, I think this is we had this conversation sometime like that. I just remember, like, we were talking about like habits. We're like, guys, in order for this to work, bad habits have to go away.
Yep. They
They
must die.
they must
Die off.
you must kill them yourself.
Yep.
And for example, like if you want to go to the gym, we'll use that as an example because Mohammed's talking about how exercise is important.
Good life. Shout out to my gym. Good life.
Yeah, but
Holding it
but
down.
do you go to the gym?
In my mind, I go to the gym, but you know how it goes.
So
I would
you're,
go to the gym right now, but world lockdown.
hey man, gym's opening up. But no, but I was gonna say, let's say for example, like you're smoking, right, Mohammed? You're someone smoking, and it tells, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym. Well, okay. First thing is, what steps have you took to stop smoking?
Yeah,
Because you can't go to the gym. It's counterproductive. Like you're gonna go after. Like I've seen so many people go to the gym and smoke. I'm like, that's so counterproductive, bro.
that's crazy.
I'm like, even like, I'm just like, it's so dumb. Like, what is like your workout gains are gone.
Yeah,
You're killing your lungs. And people don't even realize, whether it's like in relationships or in like you trying to work up to you in a company that you're already at, or you trying to get a job. If your habits are still the same from when you were like 20 or 21 or 18 or 25, 26 now, bro, you got a problem.
problem,
What are your thoughts?
problem. Like you said, man, as we're going down the list, it's getting more important, bro.
Yeah.
Every point. And so far, I think you'll agree, habits is the hardest one, man. Creating new habits is the hardest.
Well, absolutely.
There's a book called Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Read the book. Please read the book. It's very powerful. And the point is, when you want to become a new person, let's say I want to become a doctor, engineer, lawyer, any type of person, a basketball player. The point is, when you decide to do something, obviously you have the goal set in mind. It's there. The other side is there. The end game is there. Now,
Hmm.
in order to get to that point, you have to run towards it. Run, walk, whatever form of method you want to do, whatever pace you want to go at. But the point is, in order to get there, the quickest way is to develop new habits. Because obviously, the habits that you have will slow you down and prevent you from getting where you need to go on time. And guess what? By the time you get there, if you do not form new habits, your spot might not exist,
Yeah.
get might be taken away by someone that you know, or it might be waiting for you. But since you came 1 second later, a person has the exact same skill, mentality as you, got the position only because they have better habits.
Hmm. You
There's
know,
nothing worse than losing something because a person right beside you with the same skill, mentality, outlook on life got the job position, girl, whatever you want to call it, only because they have better habits. They say that to form new habits, it takes I believe 2 weeks exact.
yeah,
So if I want to become a better person, if I want to lose weight, if I want to get better shape, that means for 2 weeks, for 2 grueling weeks, I have to wake up early in the morning every single day and push myself and tell myself I want to become a better person. Therefore, I'm pushing myself to work out every single day. It's not fun, obviously, making just getting to that point because you have to convince yourself. The moment you stop is the moment that your ideal of creating this new habit dies. But after 2 to 3 weeks, you get used to it. It's a part of your lifestyle. You're not only trying to act upon it, you are it. You're living it. So when you're trying to do a new habit, know that yes, it might be painful, grueling, unfair for the first 2 to 3 weeks, but you have to understand your overall goal and end game. And when you do that, by the time you get to that third week or 1 month, when you're living the action, that new habit,
yeah,
life gets easier.
of course.
Everything becomes easier. And like before, the experiences get better because you know how to utilize yourself in certain situations. Your personality becomes even bigger because obviously your habits has allowed you to form new methods of expanding upon your attitude. So everything is pretty much collecting upon each other. Everything's working together. Every point that we're talking about today is working alongside each other. So therefore, your
Yeah,
habits, you must figure out a way to develop new habits. It's not fun, but when you try to make it fun and you develop it and you know how to make it fun, life becomes easier. That's when you get more recognition, attention, dollar signs goes up, and all that. All
but
the Benjamins comes in.
let's talk. Let's talk about why people don't want to change their habits. It's because they're already so comfortable with who they are as a person.
Complacent.
They are complacent people who are already comfortable
Is
with
that a
who
word?
they are.
Complacent?
I'm pretty sure complacent. I'm pretty sure it comes
I
out of
think in Ireland it's a word, so we'll go with it.
in Ireland. Like
Yep.
any other country, not, but Ireland is. So shout out
Shout
to
out to my
Ireland.
lads.
Shout out to your
Shout out to my lads.
ladders. But I was gonna say, we know people. Like I know, for example, when you're going to, if you know internally your habits are bad, but you're choosing not to change them, that's because your brain is telling you it's uncomfortable. Now, if you talk about the process of the brain, And I was I'm not sure if I was reading this or someone was telling me this, but essentially they were saying that your brain gets uncomfortable trying new things. So in a way, it kind of wants to put you in safe mode. No, don't do
Yeah.
this. No, don't do this. No, don't do this. Like you're fine the way you are. You're fine the way you are. It's until you
Mhm.
get out of that section where you're able to go over 2 weeks and say, you know what, I could do this. I don't need this no more. So whether it
Mhm.
may be like you're sleeping late, or a bad habit could be staying up late, smoking. It could be playing too much PlayStation. It could be on your phone, addicted, like being addicted to your phone. Those are bad habits. Or for
Of
example,
course.
like swearing or like driving recklessly,
Too much coffee.
too much coffee. So there's a lot of bad habits that you can, or being disrespectful in a sense can be a bad habit because like if you keep doing it, or if you're disrespectful in a way where I feel like you're taking things way too far,
Yep.
can be a bad
It's
habit
true.
of yours. It's like, well, bro, like how many times you're gonna do this? It's not funny. The person's not laughing.
Yeah.
And why do
It's
you
not
think?
laughing.
Why do
Yeah.
you feel? I want to ask you this. Why do you feel people don't tend to change their habits, regardless of what it is?
I will give you that answer after these messages. Make sure to follow us at Ways 2.0 on Instagram. That's our group account at Ways 2.0 on Instagram. Make sure to follow Osama at his personal page at Kusa300. Once again, at Kusa300.
You follow up.
Myself, you can follow me at Mohammed.global. Final time at Mohammed.global on Instagram. We'll be releasing new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Our episodes are available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Breaker, Anchor, and much more. Back
Yeah,
to the episode.
yeah. So I'll repeat my question for everybody that didn't listen and maybe didn't catch it. Why do you feel people don't change their bad habits, regardless of what it is?
Because what's the point of changing something if I can't see it?
There you go. Powerful answer.
What's the point of changing something for the better if I can't see it? Remember, humans, as much as we're not visual learners, if most things in life are very easy for us, especially us living in the West, because we have entertainment, all the different mediums and stuff. So people are able to show you something. Like when we see something, they're like, here's the problem, here's the solution. Simple, right? Now, when
Yeah,
it becomes something that's too big, as far as something in your life, that's when it's like kind of different. It's like, okay, if I can't see it, if I'm not getting the overall view and perspective, I'm not going to take that risk. Even when I take that risk, I'm going to quit eventually because it's like, bro, it's not even worth it. So if you're telling me that if you're telling me, is this simple? Let's say I go to a conference for business, right? I go to hear a speaker. The speaker's name's Osama. Osama gives a powerful 2 hour power note on the mindset, right?
hmm,
And at the end, he says that if you guys do these 10 habits I did starting at age 25, by the time I got to 30 years old, I went from working at my job to working my own company. And therefore, I went from making minimum wage to making, let's say, uh, $500,000 every year or so, right? And only getting bigger because obviously you have the name, attraction, books, podcasts, all these different outlets and stuff, right? All because of these 10 habits.
yeah,
That's what you do. You sell these 10 habits. Now, if I went to this presentation, I saw you for 2 hours, mind you, I like you because I watch your videos, I love your content and everything.
yeah,
Now, I only see you on stage. I don't see you behind the screens. I don't see what goes on in the background. I don't see actually how hard you work. So when you're telling me to do these 10 habits, like, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. Because Osama says I'll become exactly like him. No, Osama is saying doing these 10 habits will make you exactly like yourself to the person you need to become. It will
exactly.
only speed up the process. Doing these 10 habits won't make you me. I'm myself. My personality is me. My attitude is me. My experience is me. No one else is going to have the exact same outlook and perspective as me. But these 10 habits is something that we can share. So, therefore, this will make you the best version of you. I don't know
Yes,
how long it's going
sir.
to take. I don't know what experience you're going to go through, hurdles, hardships, struggles. But the point is,
Scroll.
these 10 habits, if you develop it, remember, it's not fun, but if you develop it and get used to it and you're living it, life becomes easier. So, therefore, what do you want to do in life? The pathway only becomes more exceptional, not harder, more exceptional. It's that simple.
Yeah, absolutely. You could have said it better. I just do believe that change your habits, people.
Change your habits. It's not fun, but we have to do it. Perfect example, the podcast. When we start doing it again, I'm like, okay, usually before we did one, I have an idea we're gonna do two. So I'm like, okay, we'll do two. Osama made a post that the episodes are coming out 3 days a week. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like 3 days a week.
You
That's gonna be like too much of my work schedule, right?
know, but
But I
yeah.
asked him why, and that's what did he tell me?
I told him if we start off big 3 days a week, then if we were to go down, it's different because then it's like they're getting so many episodes. But if we start off small and then we stop suddenly, then we're gonna go back to square one. So let's we do
Yeah,
three, and then for example, like come July, we're like we can only do two. You guys are still getting episodes. So I'm like,
yeah,
I don't want us to like take that big rush all the way. So I'm like, the fact that we're putting out episodes is amazing, but I just don't want us to lose that rush. And again, I'm not taking credit. Like me more the one are the genius behind this brand, where
mhm,
we always text each other like what we want to do. So that's why, and I know like we all have our own thing, but I told Mo like this is the only time. This is the personal talk. So like a lot of you guys don't know. So I'm like, this is the personal talk we had. We are like, no, three is too much. I'm like, three is trust me, it's just perfect, bro. I got
yeah,
you. And then he said, okay, let's do it. Maybe I think a week after, like a couple days after, like, yo, let's do it.
yeah. Because the thing is, obviously, it's not fun at first. And remember, everyone's going through different things. You might be going through something that's bad, something that's good, but the point is, you're not ready for it at the moment. But once again, if you understand, it's like, okay, we know what our ultimate goal is. Before, we weren't being consistent and we are too slow, and something died down. There was no content. 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It makes us accountable. It makes us get only better, and obviously, it lets the people know that we're serious, right?
And we've
And
gotten
once
better.
again, starting out in the beginning might not be fun, but what? Guess what? Now it's week 2 or week 3. You're used to it.
Yep.
You're used to it. So therefore, we're actually living it. So therefore, it's like, okay, we're not recording. We're gonna be thinking to ourselves, what happened? Is Osama busy? Is Mo busy? What's going on and stuff, right? Like now you want to record because now you're used to it,
And
and therefore you're able to work your schedule around it.
exactly. And I just wanted to say that I understand like for like a lot of people, the difference is right now we're this is what I want to say talking about just like environment, putting everything in retrospect. We're
Yeah,
all at home. We're all on our own comfortability. So I told Muhammad, I'm like, listen, brother, you're at home, you're on your comfortability. I'm not asking you to come to me. I'm not asking myself to go to you. So we can record. And I told them we're at our own comfortability. So there's no way we can't do this. Obviously, putting one every day is gonna be excessive. You don't have any time to promote. You don't have any time to like subliminally promote. You don't have any time to like think of what you want to say. There's always so much of what you can actually speak about,
yeah,
or topping in the news. But I'm like, hey, I said this to Muhammad because I told him like I know you're doing a lot of stuff right now. I will make my schedule uh based on whatever you need to do. So he's like, okay, I can only do this, this, and this. I'm like, all right, boom, I could do this, and that as well. And I'm like, well, we'll post. And the cool thing about posting is the app posts on its own. So it's not shout out to Anchor. Like we love the app for everyone that's
yep,
listening. Make sure you go download it and you can start your podcast with your friends. Or if you have a girlfriend or you have a wife, you can do whatever you want with it. It's actually an amazing app. And it shows your analytics and it distributes to all the platforms that you want it to be on.
it's true.
So shout out to them. And yeah, and like I remember me and Muhammad even had a conversation where like, look what happened to like pre-ways on YouTube. And for everyone's asking like when are you guys gonna do videos, don't worry. Those will be coming once we're able to meet up.
Yeah,
Just because me and Muhammad when we're editing together, we're way too people I don't think people realize how much videos we have. We just don't like how it came out.
I agree.
Yeah, but I
I
just want
agree.
yeah, but I just want to say that
I agree. And everything that you're saying is true. Everything that you're saying is powerful. Everything that you're saying must be understood,
yes,
not
sir.
practiced, lived. Like therefore, you
Lived.
must implement it.
And
It's part
yeah,
of your lifestyle.
yep,
You
absolutely.
must live it. You
And
must live it.
and I do want to say thank you to everybody listening. Mohammed, thank you for joining us today. My brother, we
Yep. Thank you.
thank you, brother. Honestly, guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Probably one of my favorite ones, just based on
Yeah.
how it
This
turned
is
out.
a easy, beautiful podcast. Beautiful episode.
Seamless. And guys,
Beautiful episode.
you can always catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is when we post. You can follow my brother Mohammed on Instagram on Mohammed.global. I'll repeat this
Yep.
again. Mohammed.global. Go follow
Yep.
him right now. You can follow me at Kusa300, Kusa300 on Instagram, and our group account Ways 2.0, Ways 2.0. And then you can always catch us on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, as well as YouTube and other platforms. on Anchor and other platforms. Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We love you guys. And we're only going to get better. So thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much.
Osama.
Thank you, Mohammed. Easy, brother.
Peace.
Peace.